How are you? How are you all doing? The rigid ones are still holding strong, and for some pro riders, they're still a very reliable choice in certain races. Today I'm bringing you a very special bike. Today the special edition Orbea Alma is being presented. World Champion Simon Andreasen, one of the most exciting signings for the team this year. What are the chances? He was crowned cross-country marathon world champion last year with another brand, and this year after signing with Orbea. Well, here you have a personalized Alma with the colors of the rainbow. We're going to go detail by detail because this bike is pretty much the way Simon will finally debut it in competition. It has some interesting features. But before that, let me talk about the paint job, because honestly, becoming world champion is a joy, but getting the paint right, is it usually complicated to have a rainbow on a bike? In the history of brands, there are true works of art and other times when the rainbow just isn't quite well combined. Here we have a frame with a lot of details. To begin with, there's like a matte white surface where we can find all these letters, making the World Champion's rainbow across this very specific area of the bike. And yet, throughout the whole frame, we see splashes of different colors, all of them related to the World Champion's rainbow. We also have these colors on the fork, and now we're going to start with the components. It's a new Fox 34 cell, also completely customized. And as you can see, everything matches a bit with both the fork and Orbea logos on the frame in gold. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this combination? Did they get it right? Is it an attractive design, like a world champion or not? Now let's analyze the technical details. To begin with, it seems that Simon no longer only likes the rigid world. Obviously, the terrain where Simon is going to debut this bike makes sense for a hardtail, and he also uses a traditional seat post for now, skipping the dropper post. And I guess he's looking for the lowest possible weight to start at full speed in this marathon race ahead of him. The X fader, which I guess is interesting to try to reduce vibrations as much as possible, and therefore impacts that the runner's muscles are going to take. And well, from there what we have is everything new that Shimano has launched in terms of transmission. The new XTR, now completely wireless. In this case, at least here, we have a 34 chainring. And we'll see if it finally uses this one or if it'll have something bigger. We have the traditional Shimano cassette, the 1051 and 170mm cranks. If I'm not mistaken, XTR pedals and ceramic bearings from the Enduro brand in the bottom bracket. If we take a look at the wheels, what we have are the highest end Okuo, the MP30 Limited, which are the ones with 30mm of internal width, and they have a hub built in Okuo's own factory with a ratchet system in the rear. And those 30mm of internal width give it a really good base, a very solid platform to mount these wide tires. 2.40, even though it's a hardtail, they still go for 240, with Maxxis Aspen in the front and Aspen ST in the rear. In both cases, 170 threads per inch. If we keep checking on the traditional seat post, we have a physics saddle. Not exactly one of the lightest, but it does look pretty wide, pretty comfortable. And the OC cockpit, a single piece. Las Almas and the Orbeas are debuting them today, actually since last year, and as a feature, they're ready to go. With 2 cable entries on the side, since it already includes the Shimano wireless system, one of them is completely freed up and not used. The brakes, of course, are also the new XTR, and since the whole system is integrated, as you can see, it looks really great. Attached directly from the brake lever clamp, that's where the control for the XTR hangs, and where everything looks super minimalistic. The fork. As I told you, I imagine this bike will have 110mm of travel with the new Fox 34 SL. And well, for now, just one bottle cage. I guess they'll end up changing that. Well, I don't know, I'm not sure how the feed zones work in this race, where Simon has to participate. But basically, I wanted to share that with you. The curiosity that this rider is going to keep betting on a hardtail in this world dominated by full suspension bikes. And this is a bit the paradigm of what he rides. Maybe the topic of the 170mm cranks is interesting because even though he's not a super tall rider, well, the truth is that many riders, especially road cyclists who are about the same height as Simon, are already using 165mm cranks. Equip Orbea has informed us that some of their male riders still use cranks ranging from 170 to 175mm in length. So not everyone is switching to shorter cranks just because there's still a bit of divergence. And regarding the coloring, I forgot to mention a detail, and that's that you can see under the colored splatter some letters in an even more matte white where it says 2024. World Champion Snowshoe, United States of America. And down here as well. Obviously, we also have the rider's name detail, the date, and the full rainbow. Anyway, please let me know in the comments what you think about the bike. To me, it seems like an absolute delight. I don't have the scale here, but I promise you this weighs very little. It's a real bullet, and I'll see you in the next videos. Be very happy. Bye-bye.